This AI model has the power to revolutionize the entire video production industry. Now, with just your PC at home, you can create stunning action scenes for your own characters. Hello everyone, I'm Sotai. In the previous video, I showed you step by step how to set up the WAN 2.2 workflow on your own computer completely free. But I know some of you still couldn't run it because your PC doesn't have enough VRAM. So in this video, I'll walk you through how to run the WAN Animate workflow even on low VRAM machines. And as I promised in the last video, I'll also show you how to create videos that are much longer instead of being stuck with just 1 or 2 seconds. Pretty awesome, right? Alright, let's not waste any more time and jump right in. Alright, so here we have the WAN 2.2 Animate workflow. I've already explained in detail how to install it and shared some tips to get the best results. If you haven't watched that video yet, pause this one and go check it out first. Now, assuming you already know how to set up and run the workflow, let's talk about VRAM optimization. First, let's just hit run to test if everything is working. Okay, looks good, the workflow is running. But as you can see here, I need at least 32 gigabytes of VRAM just to get it working. That's the GPU usage peak when the model consumes the most memory. And honestly, with that kind of GPU requirement, it's almost impossible for regular users to run it. That's why I'm going to show you how to optimize this workflow so you can run it on your own GPU with just 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Yup, you heard that right. Only 12 gigabytes. Pretty awesome, right? Let's check it out. Okay, the very first thing we need to look at is the UNet model. Like I explained in my previous videos, to optimize VRAM usage, we have to switch to lighter, trimmed-down versions of the model. But here's the trade-off: the more you cut down the model, the more quality you lose. That's exactly why quantization exists. The goal of quantization is to make the model much lighter, while keeping the quality loss as minimal as possible. And the good news is we don't have to do this ourselves. The QuantStack team has already provided quantized versions of these models on Hugging Face, and that's what we're going to use here. QuantStack actually gives us multiple versions of WAN 2.2 Animate from Q8 down to Q2, which basically means you can run the inference model anywhere from 8-bit down to 2-bit precision. And right next to them, you'll also see the estimated model sizes. Now, since our target is running this on a 12 gigabytes GPU, anything above 12 gigabytes is obviously a no-go. For the smaller ones, we still need to test because remember, it's not just the UNet we're loading. We also need space for the VAE and the text encoder. So in this case, I'll go with the Q3KS model for testing. Here you can see I'm loading the UNet Q3KS. Just one note here, you'll need to update ComfyUI GGUF to the latest version for this to work. Super easy. Just go to Custom Nodes, search for GGUF, and update it to the newest version. However, it's not as simple as just swapping out the UNet model. Even with quantization, you still need to further optimize the workflow if you want it to run smoothly on a 12 gigabytes GPU. That brings us to step 2, reducing the video resolution. By lowering the width, height, or length of the video, you can significantly cut down VRAM usage. Personally, I prefer reducing the width and height proportionally while keeping the same number of frames. Why? Because we can always upscale the video later with another simple workflow. But extending video length while keeping the character consistent? That's much harder to achieve. From my tests with 12 gigabytes VRAM, you'll be limited to around 480p output. So, I'll set the width equal 432 and height equal 768, which keeps the current aspect ratio. And if your video output is square 1:1 ratio, then just set it to 480 by 480. Trust me, this setting will save you a ton of VRAM while still keeping your video crisp enough. And the final step, which is also super important for optimizing VRAM, something I already showed you in my previous videos. You'll need to use an extra trick called Clear Cache with the purge VRAM node right here. This node basically wipes out any leftover variables that are still sitting in your VRAM. You'll want to drop this node in a few key spots. First, right after the Set Background Image node to clear the SAM2 segmentation model. Then again right after the set face node to remove the depose model and all the detection variables. Inside the WAN 2.2 Animate workflow, you should also place purge VRAM nodes after encode clip, after the WAN Animate node, and after the Xampler node. Just keep in mind, for the ones after encode clip and WAN Animate, make sure to set purge models equals false, so the models can still be passed into Xampler later on. This step is really simple, but it makes a huge difference when running the workflow on low VRAM setups. And honestly, not a lot of people talk about this trick. Alright, so I've just walked you through 3 key steps to optimize VRAM for this workflow. Now it's time to hit run, keep an eye on the VRAM usage, and see what the results look like after all these optimizations. As you can see here, after I optimized VRAM, the workflow still delivers excellent results. There's hardly any noticeable difference compared to the previous setup. Character details, consistent lighting, and camera movement are all preserved. Even though I lowered the output resolution, the result still looks very similar to the original. And this is the VRAM I need to run the workflow after optimization. Pretty awesome, right? That means the optimization worked. With a machine that has just 12 gigabytes of VRAM, I can run the WAN 2.2 Animate workflow and keep very good quality. Make sure to watch the step-by-step parts one showed and try the same tests on your own computer. Alright, the next thing I'll cover in this video is how to extend the length of your generated videos. For example, as you can see here, the workflow output is only about 2 seconds long, while the reference motion video I used is actually around 5 seconds. So the big question is, can we make the generated video longer? Maybe even up to a full minute? The most straightforward way you might think of is to simply increase the frame number here. When you set this number equal to the number of frames in your motion reference video, you'll get an output video with that same frame length. Here's a quick example. When I set number frame equals 65, I got a result that's about 4 seconds long, which is already twice as long as the previous output. But there's a catch. The more frames you add, the faster VRAM usage skyrockets. And this quickly becomes a problem for anyone working with limited GPU resources. Even on my 80 gigabytes VRAM GPU, I still can't push it to generate a full 1-minute video in one go. So what's the solution? I'll show you a much more VRAM-friendly method by using the continue motion input of the WAN Animate to Video node. As I explained in the previous video, the continue motion input lets you feed in part of the previously generated video, so the model can reference it and seamlessly generate the next segment. Let me show you how that works with a simple example. Alright, so here's how we can actually get the workflow to generate longer videos. First, you'll need to remove the fixed frame count that's being passed into the load video node. Instead, pass in the actual frame number of your reference video. Or, if you want a quick shortcut, you can just feed in a very large random number, like I'm doing here, so that the entire motion video gets loaded. For the generated video itself, you just need to set the frame count to whatever your VRAM can handle. In my case, I'm keeping it at 33 frames, just like in the optimized VRAM workflow we set up earlier. In the main workflow, I've made a few small tweaks. I replaced some parts with set and get nodes for the WAN Animate to Video inputs, so it's easier for you to follow along. I also added an image from batch node and connected it with the batch index output from the trim image of WAN Animate to Video, so we can pass that information to the next render. Now, to continue rendering the next subvideo that connects seamlessly to the one you've already generated, here's what you do. Copy the entire group of nodes like this, and paste it right below. Then, pass the final image output from the first K-sampler into the continue motion input of the second workflow. Also, make sure to feed the video frame offset into the video frame offset input of the second WAN Animate to Video. Finally, once you've rendered both subvideos, just combine the results together. Use the image batch multi-node and then send it all to the video combine node, and boom, you've got a longer video stitched together. Okay, that's it. Just like that, you've doubled the length of the generated video. Now let's see how the result turns out. Just hit run and wait for it. Awesome, you see that? The video length has increased. And even though we're sampling each segment separately, thanks to the continue motion option, the result stays perfectly consistent and super smooth, no artifacts at all. We get a longer video while still keeping VRAM usage under control, since the workflow renders each subvideo independently with every sampler run. Pretty cool, right? To make things even clearer, let's walk through a more challenging example. I'm still sticking with the same werewolf character, but this time instead of a simple motion clip, I'm feeding in a much more complex action, a girl dancing. Now, to handle this longer motion, I chained together 3 WAN2.2 to video nodes. And here's what I got. The results are honestly impressive. WAN2.2 doesn't just follow the girl's movements. It translates them seamlessly into the werewolf character. Every detail in the outfit, the lighting, and even the subtle motions of the body remain consistent across all 3 generated segments. It feels like one continuous video, totally natural, without any weird jumps or artifacts between the cuts. This shows you how powerful the continue motion input really is. Instead of running into VRAM limits trying to generate everything at once, you can break the process into smaller subvideos and then stitch them together smoothly. The end result? A much longer video that still looks just as polished as the shorter ones. So as you can see, the trick is simple. By adding more WAN2.2 nodes, you can keep extending the length of your video while still keeping everything stable and high quality. Pretty amazing, right? So now you know how to optimize VRAM and extend your videos with WAN2.2 Animate. If this was helpful, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so I can keep bringing you more awesome content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.